sometimes play chess, and when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage flame.
Hello everyone, so glad to have you back for another look at some of the foods we've been eating around here. I'm going to start off with this one. This is teriyaki salmon and rice bowl with some broccoli on the side. This was a really easy meal, and that's what we needed this week. I just pulled this teriyaki sauce that I had in my refrigerator out to put on this salmon that I already had in my freezer. So just a little of that over the top to marinate here for a little bit before it was time to cook it. And for my rice, I just pulled out my rice cooker. Now, of course, you could prepare rice and salmon however you wanted to put together a really yummy salmon and rice bowl. This is just how I did mine. So into my rice cooker here, I am putting, I think I used 2 cups of this rice, and I'm going to link below the recipe that I followed. I wanted to make a coconut rice because I had this can of cream of coconut in my pantry that I wanted to use, and so I will link below the recipe that I followed. And just as soon as I put that lid on, I remembered I could steam my broccoli on top of this rice cooker here while the rice was cooking. So into the pan with the broccoli, lid on top, and it just did all the work for me so conveniently. Next, for my salmon, I'm going to do it in the air fryer. This was the first time for me to try this. Like I said earlier, if you don't have a rice cooker or an air fryer, you can make this delicious meal however you choose to make it, but I definitely wanted to give this a shot in the air fryer. Here the rice is all cooked up and done. And just look at this beautiful salmon. I definitely recommend doing it in the air fryer if you have one. The broccoli was cooked up to perfection. I just kind of chopped it down a little bit so it would be in more bite-sized pieces. Put some rice along the side and served the salmon over top. This meal was quick and easy. The salmon didn't take long at all in the air fryer. Again, I will have a recipe linked below for that. It was healthy and just light. We really enjoyed this one. Of course, you have such delicious flavor that comes in from the teriyaki sauce. And then I just topped it with some sesame seeds that I had in my spice cabinet. This was a really quick and easy meal that had a lot of flavor. Very delicious. Alright, guess what we are having for dinner tonight? Usually when you see these sweet Hawaiian rolls, you know that there's possibly a slider involved. This was my grocery day, and I had everything I needed for Italian sliders. This time around, I just needed these little buns. So I picked those up, and I am just going to pull things out of my refrigerator to put together these little sliders. These were really, really delicious. I have made Italian sliders a couple times before, but it's certainly been a good while. So you can make a slider just about with anything you have or any of your preferences. So that's exactly what I did tonight. No recipe involved. I just pulled out the things that I wanted on this. So as you can see, we are putting down a base of Duke's mayonnaise, and then I had the salami, the pepperoni, and this ham that needed to be used. So it was just a perfect thing to pull together. I used a little bit of this dressing, the lemon vinaigrette. The only thing I forgot to put on here that I wanted to and just didn't remember at the time would have been like some little banana peppers. That would have been really great, but I forgot that. So anyway, just build the inside of the sandwich, put on the top. I mixed a little bit of melted butter with garlic powder, brushed over the top, and bake these for, I don't know, 10 or 12 minutes or so on 350, just until they're golden brown and the cheese is melted through. By the way, this cheese is really delicious. If you see this one at Aldi, it's worth picking up. Very flavorful, and it was a nice addition to these sandwiches. These little sandwiches, you just can't go wrong with them no matter which kind you make. They just always turn out great. They're such a big hit. Look how yummy this one is. We really, really loved it. It was just the perfect dinner for that night. And probably should have made all 12. I just made the 6. They were so, so good. We had some leftovers even from the 6. Loved these so much. Okay, while I loved every meal that we had this week, this was probably my favorite. And I can tell you right now, it made our house smell amazing. Into my Dutch oven, I'm sauteing some olive oil and onions together, and I am putting in this Hidden Valley Ranch Fiesta packet of seasoning. I think it's for like a Fiesta dip. I decided I was going to add this in to my soup, and I am not following a recipe. I'm just using what I have to pull together this cream cheese white chicken chili. Out of my freezer, I have a bag of already cooked shredded chicken that is seasoned with Rotel, and I knew this would be perfect for this soup, so that was a win-win. I did not have to prepare the chicken portion of this for dinner, so I just was able to pull that out, thaw that out the day before, and it was ready to go for this soup. Several of the recipes that I have used or looked at before call for black beans or pinto beans. I used cannellini beans and they were just perfect. I used some frozen corn. I just probably put in about a cup or so. And this was a fun ingredient. I was just looking through my fridge. What could I add in? And I thought that would be a really great blast of flavor. So I just put in a little bit of the Ortega taco sauce. Next, I'm coming in with some cilantro leaves. Those added a little bit of flavor and some color into the soup. I decided that I wanted just a little bit more broth. So instead of adding chicken broth or anything like that, I didn't want the salt to be any more in the soup. It was just fine how it was. So I just added in some water to give it some more broth. Got it up to a good boil here. Everything's just cooking away, and it's time now to add in the cream cheese. I added in about 4 ounces. I knew that would probably be about plenty for the amount of soup that I was making, and it was just perfect. So put that in and let that melt together, and it's pretty much time to serve. You can probably tell by how I sound that I'm just a little under the weather. We've got a little bit of a cough and some congestion going on, so you can only imagine how delicious this soup was when you're not feeling well. These spicy flavors and just the warmth of the soup was just perfect. I loved the guacamole served on the top. It was perfect addition. We loved this meal so much. I now have a lot of new friends around here, but if you are an OG, I'm sure you've seen me make homemade biscuits on here plenty of times, but that is what I'm making right now, and so I thought I would just include a little bit of footage here for anyone who may be new or anyone who may be looking for a really easy and delicious homemade biscuit recipe. I will have it down below. I saw Fallon Moss making this biscuit recipe years ago, gave it a try, and haven't gone back since. It's very easy. They turn out every time. They're just delicious. We had not had biscuits and gravy around here for a really, really good while, and that's one of both of our very favorite foods. I could have it a whole lot more often than what I do, but we just hadn't made it in a while. This was a delicious, comforting meal. Comes together quickly. Most all of you, I'm sure, have your own specialty when it comes to biscuits and gravy, or a recipe that you like, or special way that you make gravy, all those things, because that's just a comfort food favorite for a lot of people. So, not going to go into a lot of detail here, just showing you that this is one of the meals that we had this week. The very last thing I'm going to show you is for some delicious little candies. They are called Cornflake Candy, and these are your ingredients: cornflakes, corn syrup, peanut butter, and sugar. They come together very quick and very easy. Into your, like a heavy bottomed little kettle or pan, you will add your sugar and your corn syrup. Those are going to come together to a good rolling boil until the sugar completely dissolves. You want to stay right with that, stirring while it is working there on the stove to get that sugar dissolved. Once that is done, you want to take it off the heat. Do not add your peanut butter while the heat is still on, because it could seize up on you. So take it off the heat, add in your peanut butter, and just stir it really well until it gets incorporated. After that is all mixed together, you add in your cornflakes. How easy is that? You just put a little muscle behind the cornflakes. Once you get those in there, and you want to work quickly with this, you don't have to be afraid that you're not going to get it done in time, but you just don't want to linger too long, because your mixture of the peanut butter and the corn syrup and the sugar will start thickening and kind of setting up. Kind of similar to maybe a no-bake cookie, something like that. So you want to work to get these mixed in, and then you just put them out on wax paper. I like mine in a little bit of smaller pieces, so maybe about 1-inch size little circles. You want to put it out on your wax paper and just let it do its thing. It will set up. They are so delicious. You can see how quick and easy this comes together, and it's just the perfect little bite of something sweet and chewy. It's good for any time of year, but we really like these in the fall season. These are one of my mom's favorites. I like to make sure and take her some of these when I make them. So if you're looking for something quick and easy to make for a little fall treat, why don't you give these a try? Look below. The whole recipe will be below. And I put those in with this delicious treat basket. Turned out looking so pretty. Made all of these goodies over the course of a couple days. I did film some of them that I will show you upcoming, so be sure and check back for those. This was so yummy. It looks so pretty. I enjoyed putting all that together. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you are having a good week, and we'll have a good week upcoming. I'll see you the next time. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
But every